What is up, guys? It is Nick back here with another video. Today I want to go over 5 or so tips that I use that is going to help me continue to grow long-term wealth. One tip that I use that helps a little bit, but every little bit helps. Growing wealth is like picking up a penny on the side of the street. One penny is nothing, but if there's thousands and thousands of pennies, it does add up over time. So one thing that helps is putting your money in a high yield savings account, especially if you're currently saving for a big purchase. You don't generally want to have a ton of money in your savings. The more money you have moving, the more money you'll be able to make. But if you are saving up for something like a car or a house or some other big purchase, a wedding, whatever it is, definitely put it into a high yield savings account so it is making you a little bit more money while you do so. But generally you want to have, I think, 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up, and even then keep that in a high yield savings account, because if it's not being touched, you could still have monthly interest add on to it each month, which is kind of nice. So tip number 1 is definitely going to be putting money into a high yield savings account. If you don't know where to find one, check with your bank first. My bank, Wells Fargo, didn't have one. Many big banks aren't going to have them. If you have a smaller bank, they might have an account. I know some smaller banks do like CDs and everything, which isn't a bad idea, but it kind of locks your money in for a year. But you could go through like Robinhood. Robin has 4.5%, but you have to pay a monthly subscription kind of thing. So you have to have like a minimum amount to break even on that. And then I just go through PayPal. PayPal is 4.1%. Shopify, the balance, like if you have a Shopify account, you can download the balance app, which gives you a Shopify card, and you can use that as kind of like a bank account kind of thing. That used to be at almost 4%, but it's gone down. It's below 3% now, which is still better than keeping money in like a regular bank. But those are 3 options that I know off the top of my head. You can keep kind of looking around to see if there's other options, but those are 3 I have off the top of my head. Another tip I have is to consistently invest. I invest a lot through Robinhood. That's my main account, just because I have it on my phone and it's just what I started with. If you go on the Robinhood app, you can set up consistent reinvesting amounts, either daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or whatever. And setting that up is going to be a lot easier because the money will automatically get pulled out of your account rather than you having to go in and type in, okay, I'm putting this much amount into investing. Sometimes that's hard to do for a lot of people, but if you just have that automatically set up, you won't even have to think about it. It's just going to be going on by itself. If you're unexperienced with the knowledge of stocks and everything, just going with like basic ETFs and whatever will generally go up over time. If you are a little bit more advanced, you can also find just go do some research on some stocks and find what stocks have good potential for the future or are currently at a discounted rate. I've been also investing a little bit into dividend stocks, so adding on to that, just dividend stocks is a nice little additional. You get part of the earnings from each business that you invest in with dividends, and then I just reinvest that. If you are doing that if you do have dividend stocks, make sure you do have them reinvesting, because over time it will grow that compounding effect, which is really, really, really helpful for your long-term future wealth. Another thing is I tend to not eat out a lot. Sometimes I do eat out if it's a quick bite to eat, because it will end up saving me more in the future. And what I mean by that is instead of going all the way home to grab some food, and then I usually want to like shower and eat at the same time and just like be at home for a little bit and then go back to storage, which is where I am now. Because if I'm driving right by here, because my house is kind of out of the way, there's a couple restaurants right around here, so I'll usually just stop at one. Not usually, I will sometimes if I'm crunched on time. But if I have the time, I don't mind just going home quick and doing all of that. But don't eat out as much. That's a really hard one for a lot of people, but also to food. If you have food at home, it tends to be a little bit healthier. If it's not, definitely try to eat a little bit healthier. I usually just eat chicken and rice all the time, eggs. That's most of my diet, and just protein shakes, protein bars, fruit, a lot of fruit. Fruit helps keep my mind fairly clear, and my energy kind of high. Even though my energy is pretty low right now, I just think I'm kind of dehydrated at the moment. Another thing that helps me grow that long-term wealth, this is gonna be an odd one, but almost, I would have to say my phone background, my wallpaper on my lock screen. And what I mean by that is I have a bunch of different ones, but it's usually a car or a Porsche or a Lamborghini or a private jet or like some crazy rich lifestyle. And whenever I go to spend money or think about spending money on something that is not a need, like clothes, like a personal piece of clothing or a new pair of shoes or even just food, something that clearly isn't just a need, and I see my lock screen, I literally think every single time, okay, do I need this? If I buy this now, is this moving me towards that lifestyle I want, or is it holding me back? And 99% of the time, it's holding you back. So that one is an odd one, but that one really helps me out. Another thing, this is kind of given because it's what I do for a living, but I sell clothes, so I go thrifting a lot. Thrifting will save you a lot of money on buying new clothes, and it'll also help you bring out a unique style that you didn't know you had. You could go to the mall and spend like 40, I don't know how much shirts are. I think 30 to 50 on a t-shirt, right? But you could go to a thrift store and buy 6 shirts for $5 each for that $30, and you have 6 different shirts to try out. And I guarantee you're not going to go buy 6 shirts, because thrifting is like, you might find 1 or 2 shirts, maybe not even a shirt, but it definitely is a lot less expensive. I know some people think, oh, I don't want to look poor thrifting. It's not. It's really just, so many people thrift nowadays. Thrifting has become so normalized that, like, because I remember when I first went into a thrift store, when I first started reselling, I went in there solely to resell, and I was embarrassed to be in there. But I was like a sophomore in high school. I wore Supreme and Yeezys, and I was that kid. Anyways, just thrift clothes. It's a lot more affordable. Cancel your subscriptions is a really good one. I do not pay for any subscriptions. I do for my business, like my Shopify website to run that, my domain, and I just got SMS marketing. So those are the 3 I pay for. Oh, and my storage units. Those are the only ones I pay for. I don't pay for music. I know. I've never paid for music. I know. I'm crazy. But I don't pay for music. I don't pay for Netflix. I don't pay for any of that stuff. Netflix and like TV providers, show providers, whatever you call them, are the biggest waste of money, because you're paying monthly to just like basically waste time. You don't get anything from watching TV or anything. you're paying to waste time each month, which if that's what you want to do, it's not going to get you anywhere. So yeah, don't pay for subscriptions. I'm trying to think of the other subscriptions. I mean, like a Fortnite Battle Pass, but that's not really a subscription. You have to like go to buy it. Just like video game subscriptions, I guess. Spending money on video games is another thing. If you buy a video game and play it and for free, like if you buy it and then it's free to play, fine. But paying for like skins and extra stuff is extra cosmetics is just not worth it. I've spent a lot of money on Fortnite and I regret it, but hey, you can't take it back now. Something else that helps me save money, gas cards. My mom has a gas Cubs reward card. She always goes grocery shopping at Cub. I swipe that card at Cub Rewards. Save anywhere from 10 to 50 cents a gallon. I think Upside is another gas app you could download. I've never tried it. It seems too good to be true. So I don't know how it really works, but I've never tried it just because I have my Cubs reward card. All right, I think that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I hope those were some decent tips. Hopefully you can implement those into your life. Hopefully that if you want to grow long-term wealth, just make sure you're spending is the least amount you can for as long as you can. And the idea of it is to spend the least amount for as long as you can and have that delayed gratification. Instead of spending money on a car payment or a subscription, invest it, spend it on something else that will make you money. Build your assets, not your liabilities. And that's basically the gist of trying to grow long-term wealth. If you guys have any other questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Peace.